Hello and welcome to this FPL video where I'll be talking about my team, tips and suggestions for the up and coming game week 6. I'll review week 5, let you know my team news, give you a player to avoid, a player to pick and a player to have a gamble on. So let's get going. So last week saw the star man Eden Hazard take the glory. He was wearing my captain's armband and he bagged a hat trick to get himself 40 points. Another standout performer for me, that they would include Wan-Bissaka, who continues to make a good name for himself as a Palace wing-back, as well as Alexander-Arnold, who got 6 points, and he actually started on the bench for me, but came on for the injured Mendy. A solid strike partnership as well also helped me out there with Ings and Aguero, with a goal and an assist between the pair. And that left me with a respectable score, in my opinion, of 80. So even Wilson and Bennett, actually, who were on the bench, still managed to grab 10 points. So I had a pretty good game week overall. I had already made my transfers this week, with Lucas Moura coming in for the now seldom used Mkhitaryan. However, he won't be making his debut this week as I've gone for the free hit chip. So just a quick recap, the free hit chip is when you can make unlimited game changes to your squad for 1 week only, and then the following week your squad will revert back to its original squad. So why did I do it this week? Well, currently I'm unsure about the availability of Aguero and Mendy due to their injury issues. They're only slight ones, but you know, Mendy's just missed a game. Aguero apparently has picked up a bit of a knock, and Manchester City are starting their Champions League campaign this week, during the week. And I also noticed that Danny Ings cannot play. He's ineligible for the Liverpool game due to being on loan from Liverpool to Southampton. So with some favourable looking fixtures for other teams, the time felt right for the free hit. So let's have a look at my starting 11 for this week. So in goal we have Ben Foster staying there. Watford have started the season strong. They're doing really well and they travel to Fulham. We have reverted back to my back four style with Alonso, Pereira, Wan-Bissaka and Alexander-Arnold along the back line. A five-man midfield sees Salah partner his Liverpool teammate Mane, who comes into the side for this week only, as does Schürrle and Fernandinho alongside the man of the moment, Eden Hazard. Up top, we've got one striker, and unfortunately the ever-present Aguero this week has been replaced by the big Belgian Lukaku. On the bench just sees one change as well to the squad, with Joselu being in just for this week. So as you can see, I made many changes for this week for the free hit, but I wasn't confident in keeping Mendy or Aguero, two key players in my squad, in my side, as maybe both of them are still carrying slight injuries. Manchester City have been Champions League football, and the fact that they have Cardiff away at the weekend, and we know what Pep Guardiola is like. Who knows who is going to start in his side? I brought Fernandinho in because he seems like the only consistent. It's him and Laporte at the back who seem the only two players. Oh, I'm sorry, Edison, the goalkeeper, seem the only players who have played 90 minutes consistently. So I wanted a Man City player in there, so I went for Fernandinho. Also, like I mentioned before, with Ings being unavailable as well, it felt like I would have had a bare bones squad for a week where I think many points are going to be there for the big 6 teams. We know the big 6 teams. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to go into that argument, but the big teams seem to have a good opportunity for big points this week. So I didn't want to risk half of my squad, you know, my top players not being available, and that would have been really damaging this week. So moving on to my player to avoid this week, and I've got to go for Aguero. As sad as this is, I've made the points already. Pep's constant rotations, a slight knock for Aguero, City playing Champions League, this weekend they're away to a newly promoted side. I just feel he might miss this game. I think he'll either miss the Champions League game and play at the weekend, or he'll play at the weekend and miss the Champions League. I don't think he's going to play both games, and I'm not willing to make the risk, considering that my tactic this season is to go for one striker, and if my superstar striker is a maybe, it doesn't sit right with me. My player to pick this week is going to be King Salah, the FPL hero of last year. He's been in the shadows of Mane this season, but a home match against the Saints looks like the perfect time for Salah to get some points. And with Firmino carrying a small injury himself as well, we could even perhaps see Salah play down the middle, which he has done for Liverpool before. So a player to have a gamble on that's my idea of basically someone who is not particularly highly rated or well known with a high price tag or who gets high scores every week, but someone who I think will do well this week. And I've gone for Maddison at Leicester. He's looking like a great young talent on the pitch in real life, and it's not just the fact now that he's starting to get a full 90 minutes under his belt, but it looks like his fantasy football scores are on the rise as well. And with the Foxes at home to Huddersfield, I can see at least 6 points coming from the young man this week. So that was my review of Game Week 5, and I look forward towards Game Week 6. Let me know in the comments below how your lineups are looking, and what do you think about my free hit squad, and who are your players to pick and avoid this week. And as always, have a good one.